Hello guys, welcome to our today's discussion whereby we are going to discuss on communication between parents and teenagers. I am Doreen Mwangi.
I am Oskandolo.
And I'm yours, Purity Mombua.
Yeah, on this discussion we are going to look on some questions which are going to lead us to discuss this topic in broad.
Yeah.
First one, do parents have free communication or open communication to their teens?
Are teenagers free to communicate with their parents in today's world?
And the other question is, do teenagers have an open communication with their parents? And what kind of communication do they have with their parents?
And also benefits of this communication between teenagers and their parents.
And also the reason behind that, you find teenagers fail to be free with their parents.
So before we start elaborating on this question, first we're going to tell you what communication is.
Communication is the process whereby of passing information from one person to another.
Good, that is very correct. That is communication. So in communication, we are going to talk or pass information from one person to the next person.
Yeah.
Now, let us see, do teenagers have communication with their parents?
Yeah, I can agree with you. They have communication with their parents, but it depends which kind of communication they do have with their parents.
Yeah,
Is it open? Is it somehow hidden?
And I'll also add that it will also depend on which topic they are discussing. So we'll find that in deep topics, when it comes to matters of sexual topics or matters of emotions or feelings, teens tend to withdraw from this kind of communications with their parents. But when it comes to matters of doing house chores, of dressing well, they are free to communicate with their parents. So they choose which topic they will discuss with their parents.
If I can ask you this, why do these teenagers just face a challenge being so free with their parents?
I would like to start by saying that most teens, they fear judgment, and when they tell their parents that mom have these feelings for this boy, in our African culture, there's this age that you can't tell your parent that I'm in love with someone, or I'm going out with someone. Okay. Your parents will tend to disagree, or even you'll have a disagreement with your parent in an extent that your parent will get mad at you. So when it comes to matters of love, matters of sex, if I may say, the teens tend to not to talk these matters with their parents. So they fear judgment. They fear that my parent, if I tell mom that I'm in love, or I want mom to elaborate this sex thing to me, they feel or they believe that their parents will judge them wrongly.
And to add on that, I'd like to say that it's the way the African kids are brought up.
Yeah.
As you see, like when a child is brought up from the child being young, this child is always being told, be a good person.
Yeah.
Like never do this, sex is bad, relationships are bad. Now you see, if you are brought up with all those things, you will fear when such things are happening to you, you will fear to talk to your parents in an open manner.
Yeah.
If I can ask you still, is it so necessary to today's world to be free, to open everything, whether it's sexually matters or else any kind of information, any kind of message to kids? Is it so benefiting to them if you can open and be free with them?
For me, I'd like to say that it is very important. According to now the generation we are, kids are growing very fast, and then if you don't tell this information to your child at home, this child is going to get this information from outside. So I believe it's best this child to get the information from home, so that when this child hears it from outside, he or she knows this is bad and this is right, and this is how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, as Doreen have said, in today's world, there is a lot of information outside there. So if the child doesn't get the information from the parents or from that guardian that brought this child up, she or he is going to get an information from another source, and this information may be bad or may come in another form which is misleading. So I believe it will be better for this child to get the information from the parent, because I believe the parents will guide you in the right manner, and your parent doesn't want to see you mess up in life, so he or she will give you the right information that you require at the moment.
Yeah, very correct.
Yeah.
So the other question is, now what kind of communication? Now, since we have agreed, all of us, that the teens communicate, yes, with their parents, but they do not communicate with the parents on some issues.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of communication do they now communicate with the parents? Because we've seen that some teens fear to speak with their parents on relationships, on issues of sex, reproduction, or so many things. Now, what kind of communication do they have with the parents?
Mostly you find that most of the youth in today's world, they do just discuss with their parents on entertainment matters, or else any other thing that does not pertain sex immorality.
Yeah, I agree. So there is communication. Yes, we're not denying this, but the communication is somehow limited to some topics or discussion.
Yeah.
So we like to encourage our parents or even the teens to feel free to talk to your mom or dad. So as we all know, your mom or your dad is the best person to give you what you need or the information that you require. I believe that we are still growing as an African culture, and we are still changing or adjusting to the new changes of this world. We are, as Doreen said, in today's world, we tend to grow in a faster rate. We tend to grow so fast, and so much information is being brought up. We in schools and even in church and even in the society, we get different informations. So I believe that it is time that we adjust and face the reality that as teens we have to talk about these things with our parents. So I believe when you go to your mom in the right manner and to ask a question, and you said in the right language, I believe that your mom will be motivated to talk to you, because she will believe that if I say this to my child, this is what she will hold on to. So it is better if we feel free to talk to our parents. And if your parent, he or she is not willing to listen, it is also advisable you pass to another person who will go and pass the information to your parent. So feel free to talk to your moms and dad, and our parents will have to adjust to us. We have so much information that we want to share, and we want them to elaborate more. So our parents should be opening to this kind of information, so to create that room of comfort that we want, so that we can be free to talk to them in this kind of discussion. Sorry.
As it goes, the earlier the better. I find it necessary for parents to just start talking and discussing on such matters with their kids as early as possible. As you have said, Purity, that most today's generation, they mature up very fast and at a faster rate. So that if parents do communicate with them at the appropriate time, that is early time, I think when they grow up, they will just be mature up in a better manner.
Yeah. And they have the right information.
And you, as much as you open to your parents or to your elders, you get the guidelines. Like these people are going to guide you. Maybe it's a relationship. They're going to tell you the things that you will engage on and the things that you're not supposed to engage on when you're in that relationship or in any situation. So parents, just as the moment that you are bringing up your child, like bring your child in an environment that it's free. This child can talk to you in any situation. You find this situation even in high school. The children who are in school, the parents don't know their children. Like a parent is being called in school that your child has done so and so, but the parent is shocked. Is very shocked that my child can't do such things. It's because you've not sat down with your child, explained some things, taught her or him some things that he or she is supposed to do.
And this regarding to these teenage pregnancies, as it has risen in the previous some months ago, during like for example this time of coronavirus, this is a pandemic, it has risen simply because the kids are so idle, still they can never have any time with their parents to discuss on matters or issues pertaining any of the sexual matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So help us go to our next question, Doreen.
Okay, since we've discussed, and I think we've discussed everything in broad.
Yeah.
So our next question is, what are the benefits? Now, if this teen communicates with the parents, how will this teen benefit? We'll start with Oscar.
Yeah, there are various benefits that the teens gather from the discussion between their parents and themselves. One of it is just being role models for their own, standing by their own. It is created whereby you find, like for example, nowadays teenage pregnancy as a reason. If you are a parent and you have prior talk or discussion with your kid, with your teen, it will be necessary for him or her, at least for her, that is in particular, to at least to venture in other businesses or other various activities that does not engage herself in sexual immorality that will lead to teenage pregnancy.
I like to add that one of the benefits is there'll be a build up trust between the child and the mom or the dad, because the immediate time that you get to talk with your mom or your child, the mom will see that my child trusts me in this level to come and sit with me or ask me to listen to what he or she has to say. And also the child will have that trust in their mother or father that my mom can listen to me and my mom is able to give me that information or that right information that I require at the moment. So there'll be trust between the child and the parent.
And then this child is going to be guided. Like if you open to your parent or to an elderly person, you're going to be guided on the things you're supposed to do and the things that you should not hurry to do. So you're going to get guidelines. So if you get yourself into this, then they are going to tell you the consequences. So when you engage in something, you're going to have, like, when I do this or I do something else, this thing is going to affect us.
I also believe that there will be friendship will be created, a more open friendship with the parents and the child, because we all know that friends are people that are free to communicate, tell each other everything about their lives and ask for advice when needed. So when the child communicates with the mom or the mom communicates with the child, I believe they'll create that friendship, that bond that will put them together, and the child will always consider telling her dad or her mom things that are bothering her. So there'll be that friendship with benefit.
As there is rights and freedoms that entail certain, or every teen or else every child, there are sometimes that you feel like you have to limit some freedom to the youth, because if you just enlighten them or allow them to have so much time being so idle, they end up just engaging themselves in a so elusive manner, bad companies that will lead them to destroy their future anyway.
So those are the benefits. I think we can make some recommendations.
Yeah.
Like to the parent outside there, the teen outside there. Theoretic.
So thank you. So I will encourage every teen, every child that is growing up, believe that your mom or dad is your best friend. Don't be influenced by any information that you get from the internet, from friends, or from the society. Always consider your parents. Remember, these people brought you up, and first thing, these people are the reason you are in this world. So let them be the first thing or the first people that you think of whenever you have a problem. This will enable you to grow up believing that you have friends or you have people to rely on whenever you have a problem. Don't be influenced by friends. Don't be influenced by things that you tend to believe on without the right information. So always consider your parents, always consider the information, and always listen whenever they tell you this is bad and this is what you're supposed to do. So that's all that I had to say. Please. be encouraged?
Mine goes directly to the parents. Just a kind of just kind of measure that you should take to your kid. Start as early as possible, just getting into discussion with him or her as early to 12, 9, 7 years. Don't wait until he or she mess up. Just start as early as possible to give him or her guidelines so that you will lead him or her to attain his dreams.
And to add on that, I'll urge parents, do not be harsh on these teenagers. That is a stage. These children at that stage, when they are teenagers, they need guidelines. They need you the most. At times you feel like you don't need them, or maybe they are so hard to talk to, but you need to be persistent. Talk to them every time. Maybe they are out from school, talk to them. Always give them information. Even if the child is not open to you, talk to that child. And the more you talk to that child will see you are friendly, and you are creating the trust, as Purity told us, and the bond between you and the child. So don't be harsh. If your child does any mistake, just sit down with the child, explain things to him or her, and everything is going to be fine.
I would also like to add and say that you can also create a communication timetable. Maybe you plan that at this time of the day, it is time for us to talk as a mother and a child, or as a family. Or during outings, you can create outings and go outings for vacation, but your main objective is to get to know the changes that your child has experienced, the things that he or she has learned when she or he was at school, so that can enable you to make a progress in knowing each other best. So create that timetable that you communicate, that free time. And also, as parents, don't ignore any change that you see in your child. That small change can can explode to a big situation or a big problem when that change is ignored. So whenever you note a change in your child, it will be best if you try to ask what is happening, so that you can get the right information, also so that you can know how to help your child.
And I think to add on that, like, parents should always create time. Like, even if you are at work or you're so busy, always remember you have a child somewhere and this child needs you. And always create time for the family, for your kids. Always talk to them.
Family comes first.
Yes, thank you. So with that, we hope that we have enabled you to know that communication is necessary. Our discussion, I hope that it has influenced you to be that open-minded and communicate with your parents, and the parents communicate with their children.
For me, I believe the discussion was interesting. We've helped someone outside there, and they're going to learn. That's all what we had for today. Now until next time,
we say goodbye.